fuck is you telling me?
Sir, yes, sir. You were tuned in to Throw the Hook podcast, episode 7. It's your boy G5 Jeff TV, aka G5, aka 5, aka the Guru. And I got Big Bro in the building with me, man. Boxing First Vlog is in here. What's going on, bro?
Oh man, everything is all good, man. Just trying to stay focused because these boxing streets be like hocus pocus. Magic going on out here, bro.
Yeah, the boxing streets is going a little crazy right now, man. And I think it was a blessing because initially we were supposed to go on yesterday, and I just couldn't make it happen. But the topic that I had was nowhere near the one we going to discuss tonight. So I think it was a blessing that we came on tonight. Y'all know how we get down. If you in the chat, say what's up. Put a 1 in the comment section if we sounding good, you know, the volume sounding all right, you know what I'm saying, nothing choppy, you know what I mean. Get the shout outs out the way first, man. Big shout out to Shane. Hopefully he'll be able to jump up in here. Big shout out to Legend. I talked to him earlier today. Hopefully he'll be able to stop through as well. Big shout out to my guy Teak. Teak, if you in here or you see us live, let me know. I'll shoot you the link. Big shout out to Coach Ali, Coach Pad, man. You know, the whole crew. You know what I'm saying? Big shout out to everybody, man. But we are covering today Terence Bud Crawford's retirement announcement. And I'm not gonna lie, I kind of came out of left field. I kind of want to wait just a couple minutes because I want to actually run the retirement video from Terence Crawford's Instagram page. And you know, I think that'll be good for everybody to see. Look like I got an advertisement up in this joint. I don't know who you are, but big shout out to you. Big shout out to you. But we are going to be covering Terence Crawford's retirement. So we got Team Morales in the building. Big shout out to you, family. Put a 1 in the chat if we sound good, man. Put a 1 in the chat if we sound good. Hey, Vlog, you want me to run a video right now, man? Get this thing up and cooking.
Let a couple people slide in with us. You know, we a little bit behind schedule, so they probably thought we wasn't coming again, but we in here. So yeah, let's just start the convo though.
Well, they say we got 20 people up this month.
Oh, well then run it.
All right. Hold on a second. We're gonna run Terence Crawford's retirement video. So we're gonna run that.
Every fighter know this moment will come. We just never know when. I've spent my whole life chasing something. Not belts, not money, not headlines, but that feeling, the one you get when the world doubts you, but you keep showing up and you keep proving everyone wrong.
Unbelievable performance.
This sport gave me everything. I fought for my family. I fought for my city. I fought for the kid I used to be, the one who had nothing but a dream and a pair of gloves. And I did it all my way.
It cannot be overstated how sensational Terence Crawford is.
I gave this sport every breath I had, every scar, every triumph.
Terence Bud Crawford is the pound-for-pound King.
Every ounce of my heart.
The fighting pride of Omaha, Nebraska, USA, and new Ring Magazine, an undisputed super middleweight champion of the world.
And I've made peace with what's next. And now, it's time. Thank you. To my opponents who pushed me to places I didn't know I could go. To the fans who believed in me when they didn't have to. You made this journey something I carry with pride for the rest of my life. To my haters, and to the people that didn't believe in me, thank you. Because without you, without having that fire in my gut to prove each and every one of you wrong, you pushed me to heights that I never thought I'd reach. Thank you, Turkey, Sella, and Riyadh. Not just for believing in me and making history with me, but for what you continue to do for the sport of boxing. To TKO, thank you for being my first promotional company that believed in me when nobody else did. To Top Rank, thank you for helping me become a champion. Bomac, Saul, Bernard, Midge Minor, Chet, Ashley, Dr. Conroy, my little brother Wayne, Carl, Mac, McDoyle, Paulina, Denise, Michelle, Jamie, Dez, Matt, Levy, Steven Nelson, my brother from day one, Ish, Harrison, Julie, Jessica. I don't view you just as members of my team. I view you as members of my family. My sisters, my nephew, grandma, thank you for your love and support over the years. Mom, thank you for the tough lessons. You built a mentally strong, resilient man. Dad, thank you for the support. You were the first person to say that I was going to be $1 million baby and that I would one day be a world champion. To my kids, to Mia, Lil T, Tyrese, to Leia, to Kari, Trinity, Zaire. You are my legacy. I'm stepping away from competition, not because I'm done fighting, but because I've won a different kind of battle. The one where you walk away on your own terms. This isn't goodbye. It's just the end of one fight and the beginning of another.
That was a tribute video, retirement video from Terence Bud Crawford. I don't know who they got to edit that video. They did a great job editing that piece. So whoever did that, big shout out to them. Vlog, matter of fact, let me get in the comment section real quick. All right, I ain't missing nothing. Just Vlog, give me your thoughts on just Bud Crawford's career and just, you know, just what you think of him just as a fighter, like where you have him all time.
Let's start with that. I think all time can only go based on eras because how the game has changed. Boxing, the deepness of the boxing pool has been up and down. So I just think we gotta, you know, put him at all-time GOAT for his era, no doubt. I think he surpasses Floyd and what Floyd kind of did during his reign and whatnot, you know, even though 50-0 was obviously a little better than 42-0, but, you know, donuts have a certain glaze on them. And I think his donut glaze is a little bit sweeter than Floyd's was. You know, I mean, there's no cap to Floyd and his abilities. We all know he's on another level, but I think Terence did a little bit more offensively later on in his career than what we seen Floyd was able to do. But just defensively, Floyd is a GOAT. So just speaking of eras, he's just the best of this modern day era, no doubt about it. I think slightly surpasses Floyd since their eras are kind of close and compatible to each other. I could go that at least back that far with ranking Terence. So, you know what I mean? Just like I said, man, top tier, baby. You know what I mean? No doubt about it. A dude from the soil, kept everything respectful. You know what I mean? But stayed a man about his business, stood on his business when he ran into other fighters and talked his talk and all of that. You know what I mean? So, yeah, you know, I salute him all the way around. I can't be lying and say he was one of my favorite boxers or anything like that. That'd be just misleading anybody in the chat about me. They know who my guy is. They you know, just we ain't even gonna speak on that. But just, yeah, respect to him, man. He definitely deserves his kudos. You know what I mean? 2-time undisputed. Man, I don't think we're gonna see that again. You know what I mean? So, you know, that's like that Brett Favre record. We just never gonna see that broken. You know what I mean? So just shout out to him though.
Yeah, Bud is definitely one of the GOATs for sure. And when you bring up Bud, it sparks up so much conversation, because when you have that O on your record, it just brings a different type of energy with the boxing fans in terms of how they talk about the person with the O. We've seen it with Floyd in the past. We've seen it with other fighters. We've seen it with young fighters on the come up that might be 15-0, 20-0. It's just something about that O that brings a different type of conversation when, you know, people are just talking. And with Bud, just with my own 2 eyes, Bud Crawford is one of the best fighters I've had a chance to actually sit down and watch, like from the fundamentals to the physical talents, the defensive ability, the chin, you know, being able to absorb shots, respond, recover. And he's one of the best to do it. He's one of the best to do it. Went up multiple weight classes, went undisputed in multiple weight classes. I mean, depending on whose list you're talking about, he's consistently top 3 on everybody's pound for pound for years. You know, some people are just not Terence Bud Crawford fans, so some people didn't have him, you know, top on their list, but, you know, even a hater will have him in the top 3. You know what I'm saying? So big salute to him. We got Bruce Gas in the building, man. He says, salute my brothers. Hey, man, salute to you, bro. Bruce Gas, can you put in the comment section just where do you have Bud like all time, just in your book? Where do you have Bud all time? And for the people that's coming in, let us know where you have Bud at all time. You know, do you think he's an all-time great? Do you not think he's an all-time great? You know, talk to us. Let us know. Vlog, next question for you is, do you think he stays retired? Because I know that's a lot of talk going on in the boxing streets, and there's a lot of people giving out various reasons why they think he's retiring. Do you think he stays retired?
Honestly, yeah. Now that I listened to that video, and that's a lot of work and a lot of, you know what I mean, realness that comes out of dude that ain't a super emotional guy or hasn't shown us as fans a lot of emotion like that. I think he does, you know what I mean? And unless it's this astronomical number that I've heard while I've been kind of in these boxing streets this afternoon, pretty much 100 million probably bring him out of retirement. But as I told you off camera, there's not $100 million fight in boxing right now. Probably won't be in the next 5 years, because just not been promoted correctly. You know what I mean? When you got a GOAT, a pound for pound guy, not on the pound for pound list currently, and this is based on consensus from what Google tells us. The consensus package is this guy's not on there, so that means it's fugazi in these boxing streets right now, man. That's why I told you, man. It's hocus pocus. You got to stay focused, man.
Yeah, I think he stays retired as well. I think the position that he was in with Turkey and Riyadh season, the Canelo rematch possibly on the table, even if it's not $100 million fight, that's still a big money fight. So I think the retirement is genuine right now. I think he can come back if he wanted to, but I think you're looking at probably like a 6 month to a year window. If you don't hear him saying he's coming back within 6 months to a year, I think he stays retired. I mean, is there people that I would have loved to see him fight? Absolutely. But just like in this video clip, it was really nothing else that he had to prove. Like, it's stuff that we would like for him to do, but it was really nothing for him that he had to do. Like, it was a necessity. So I think he stays retired as well. I actually agree with you on that. I think he stays retired. And, we talk a lot of retired fighters and them having the proper send-off and them being celebrated correctly when they do retire. And I think Bud retiring now, what better way to go out? What better way to go out? I mean, you go undisputed, you go undisputed at 68, you go undisputed at 40, you go undisputed at 47. So, I mean, it's absolutely crazy what he's done in his career. And like I said, one of the best just pure fighters I've seen. There's not a lot of fighters from this era where you could throw them in the previous eras, like especially the golden era of welterweight. We talking, Leonard, Duran, Hearns, Hagler. Like, I can throw Bud in that mix and he could hold his own. You know what I mean? You can't say that about a lot of fighters in this era, because I don't think this era is nowhere near as good as that era. Not only the fighter, but just the brand of boxing back then. So yeah, Bud Crawford, he's a great fighter, man. Great fighter. I don't know what more I can say about him, but Blunt, if you had your choice, who's give me like 5 fighters you would have liked to have seen Bud fight that he didn't get a chance to fight.
I mean, I don't think it's nobody I can't think of, bro. Like, to be honest, like, to me, that was just a must do. Like, how they overlook it. The only one that comes to mind is the most recent one, and that's Jerron Boots Ennis. You know what I mean? And that's not being a homer. That's not being a cat that's just coming from the city. You know what I mean? I'm just speaking facts. Like, you talking about who was the best at the time, coming up, looking for that shot, and who was at the top. And I wouldn't say it's a duck, because they had plans. I think even back when the Boots name was kind of in the air, I think they was already thinking 2-3 steps ahead of us boxing fans. When he knew he was going to dog walk Spence, they were already thinking down the road to a super fight and that possibility. You know what I mean? Because it would take a minute to get from 147 and conditionally right for 168, and they let time elapse. They let the boxing streets kick up dust, blah, blah, blah. But they minds was already down the road. That's why I think this retirement thing is solid, because the way it sounds like he's already thinking about another route that may include boxing, but not from a fighting position. You know what I mean? Because I'm already hearing people say he ain't the face of boxing. How can he not be the face of boxing? He still literally is the best man walking around on the planet currently at 168. Not dethroned. Nobody's came up to prove that they're better by grabbing all the straps and doing it in a better way or anything of that nature. You know what I mean? So, and then being like I was thinking to myself, you can be the face of boxing without being in boxing, without literally having active fighting career like Floyd Mayweather, was still the face of boxing 5 to 10 years after him finishing fighting, technically fighting, ranked contenders and things like that. So it's still possible for Bud because he has charisma, so he could still be the face of boxing. If he has a relationship with Turkey, I'm sure Turkey's going to want him at certain events and things like that. You know what I mean? So he could still be the face of boxing because we're going to be talking about whether he is truly the GOAT of all time. And I mean, not to besmirch Ali, but he can be up there with in that conversation based on in the ring accomplishments. Ali went 3 times heavyweight champ, never had been done. Okay, that's GOAT status. This dude is 3-time undisputed. Never ever going to be done again. I doubt it very honestly and seriously, just because we deal with a real mucky water when it comes to these commissions and whatnot and these boxing associations. So I just think that's going to be hard to do. We can see what they about with the business that came out after the fight. So, that's just something to me. You could have kept out of these public streets. You supposed to go handle that. Go meet him in the restroom. Like, yo, bro, let me holler at you about that one business thing. And y'all take care of business. You know what I mean? Not no handshake shit, obviously, you and the fucking shitter, but I'm just speaking hypothetically of where you could have had that type of conversation. So I think reasons like that, we'll probably never see it again. And now we're in the era of gold champion and regular heavyweight champion. And what's going on? Either you the heavyweight champ or you not. But don't let me get into that. That's the WBA being like WBC and just being trash at what they do. So that being said, though, I think he can be talked about as an all-time GOAT. But just for my argument, I'll just keep him in this era and say, well, he'll never be top. I don't even think Boots gonna be able to top what he did in the ring. But I think Boots is technically a better fighter than he is, a better boxer than he is. That's just my personal opinion.
I would love to have people come up here. They'll probably debate you on that, but I actually welcome that. That'll make a better show. But big shout out to Justin. He said, "What's the word, brother, man?" Big shout out to you, Justin, man. Appreciate you stopping through, man. Definitely. Hey, man, tell your people about the podcast too, man. You know what I'm saying, man? Trying to expand out here. Let's see. We got James Peach, 1993 in the building. What's going on? He said, "What's your favorite British fighter ever?" That's a good question. I don't know if I have a favorite. I'm a big Lennox Lewis fan. I love Lennox Lewis as a heavyweight. I would say my favorite British rivalry is probably, I would say, Eubank and Ben, the fathers. I think that might be my favorite rivalry, trilogy matchup. I would say Lennox Lewis off the top of my head. You got a favorite British fighter, Vlog?
You don't think you know me then? I thought we was partners.
Listen, hey, bro, I know you, but we on a camera in front of the world.
All right, obviously, this best nickname in boxing is Beefy, baby. You know what I mean? He's not the best boxer from
but
Britain,
that's your favorite.
It's my favorite dude. I liked it. I liked his heart. You know what I mean? I liked his grit. And he was friendly to boxing fans. Like he's going to give you a fight, whether he was in it or not. He's going to bring the smoke to you.
Yeah,
and
Beefy Smith.
That's a super dope nickname, man. No doubt. Beefy Smith, baby.
Liam Beefy Smith. Justin said, "Yes, sir. Big show this Saturday live on starfund.stream. Yes, sir. Card out in Iowa. A lot of my Iowa family going to be on the card, man. Almighty Monk gonna be in the building. He gonna be fighting. My guy Pacino Hill gonna be fighting. That's a nice card. That's a really, really nice card, man. A lot of my Iowa family in there, man. So big shout out to them. I will drop a link in my social media for anybody that want to check that fight out. It is on the 20th, so definitely go check that out. We got Beat Brawler says salute to you, family. Salute to you. If you're not subscribed, man, please subscribe to myself and Boxing First Vlog. We could definitely use the support. James Pete said he said best rivalry in Britain for sure. Yeah, there's a video on YouTube that kind of highlights that rivalry between Conor Benn and Chris Eubank Sr. I mean, that's one of the best ones I've ever seen, man. Like I would highly suggest people watch that. If I had the link, I would definitely put it up there. But that's one of the best rivalries of all time, Britain or US. Said Liam Smith. Yeah, Liam Beefy Smith, man. We like Liam Smith over here, man. Entertaining fighter for sure. Laser Sharp Gaming said, for each of you, what would be your dream fight that never happened? First of all, that's my brother, Ty. Big shout out to Ty up in the building, man. Big shout out to little bro. Oh man. Dream fight that never happened. I'm gonna answer that with Bud, since Bud is the topic. If it was up to me, if I could have seen Bud in Boots before he rolled out, I think that would have been my dream / most realistic scenario. Just keeping it about Bud. I would say Bud Boots. What about you, Vlog?
I mean, you stole the words out of my mouth. That obviously would have been, comparison-wise, the best fight just based on skill. That's all we're going to go off of is skill.
Yeah.
Both these dudes have it. Power, ability, defense, ability to take punches. You know what I mean? So it would have just been a fight of pure skill and also coaching to see what type of strategies was applied by Bomac and by Pops Ennis. You know what I mean? So
Great point.
You know what I mean?
Great point.
I just think that would have been for a modern day. But if you want to go throwback, I mean, even though they fought, I think they fought at the wrong time. And I would go Mike Tyson, Lennox Lewis.
You know what? Just go,
when they originally paid him the $2 million step aside money back in the day, back in the 90s, that fight should have happened then.
I'll give you one. Heavyweight division. I think a dream fight I would have loved to have seen would have been Lennox Lewis and Riddick Bowe. That would have been, oh my goodness, that would have been one hell of a matchup. They had the kind of the backstory to support it. Another one that would have been good is not heavyweight. James Toney and Bernard Hopkins. Bro,
why are we on the same page? As soon as you finished, I was getting ready to say that. I literally was getting ready to say that. I ain't got no wood because I got a concrete floor, but I'd knock on some fucking wood if I had it right. Oh, I do, my table. Knock on wood. I was getting ready to say that same shit, bro. That would have been a sick ass fight.
Let's run a couple off, man. Go. You give one, I give one.
All right. Real, we ain't gonna stay too long because I want to talk about that.
No, we ain't gonna stay too long. Yeah.
Floyd. And I mean, it's like, are we talking? See, that's why I don't want to do like hypothetical type of fight.
No. Like, it said dream fight.
My dream fight
never happened. Yeah.
I would love to see a Floyd Sugar in their primes, like a Pretty Boy Floyd versus Sugar Ray Leonard.
Listen, I'm gonna knock on wood with you. All right. I'm gonna tell you where I was going. Soon as you said that, I was getting ready to say Floyd versus the Four Kings.
Man,
Leonard,
any of them,
Duran, Hearn, Hagler.
Yeah, any of them, bro. But it would have been sick. But
that would have been sick.
Just based on how they both fought. You remember how Pretty Boy was?
Yeah,
Sugar was the same monster in that ring, bro.
And we're talking Pretty Boy Floyd Mayweather. We're not talking about money.
We ain't talking about money Mayweather. We talking about Pretty Boy Floyd. Killer.
Bro, like Lil bro, you just started something. You just started something with this. If Floyd goes up against the Four Kings from that era, what would his record be? I asked the question and I don't even have an answer to it. I would have to think about it.
I would say worse. I would think worse 2-2. Because Hagler was a different kind of monster, bro. Like Hagler was a type, you hit him with a 2x4, he's still coming. Like, you know what I mean? So we don't know what Floyd would have done with that kind of pressure. I think maybe speed-wise, he would have probably took a little bit off his shots to be able to get out the way of somebody like Sugar, you know what I mean? So he would have just really been trying to score and land rather than eat and trade with somebody like Sugar. Just different ways to analyze them fights, bro. But that is a sick combo just in itself, by itself. Yeah. That's 2 hours.
Listen, I ain't gonna lie, bro. We might have to do a video just on that, bro. Floyd versus the Four Kings. You know, we don't usually get into the fantasy matchups, yo. But I think he goes 1-3. I think he goes 1-3, bro.
I'm gonna give him a 2 for 2. I'll give him 50% just because that pretty boy was a dog. Like, he was not a guy looking to out for you. You know what I mean? He was a guy looking to come use his speed and power to his advantage.
I think he would have lost to Leonard. I think he would have lost to Tommy. And I think he would have lost to Hagler. I think he beats Duran, though. I got him 1-3.
I see. I'm with you, but I give him. I think he beats Hearns because the power will show up, and we know Tommy Whiskers, you know, wasn't the greatest. But
we talking later on Tommy too, though.
Huh?
Prime Tommy Whiskers was nice though.
But prime Floyd, Pretty Boy, was nice too. So just based on.
Hey, hold on. Hey, little bro, you're not gonna pull us away from the topic of the show. We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that.
We'll be all
we're gonna
night.
say we'll be all night. We're gonna say that for another time. But that's a great question. Great question. James Peach, he said Kell Brook is mine. Favorite British fighter. I respect that. Let me see. Beat Brawler. Tyson versus Tua. Ooh, that's a nice one too. Damn, Mike Tyson, David Tua. That's a nice joint. Oh, speaking of that, bro, you know who fighting on the 24th? Ike Abiabuchi.
Man, why was I getting ready to say Ike Abiabuchi?
I lied to you not, bro.
And Bacoli, I was getting ready to just add that real quick as we was finishing the topic. I would have liked to see Ike Abiabuchi and Martin Bacoli literally try to take each other head off. That would be bonkers, bro.
Hey, little bro, you probably sparked up a whole like list of videos that Vlog and I gotta do just as like solo videos, just kind of covering just different topics. Oh my god, Tyson and David Tua would have been nasty. Yeah, Lennox Lewis, Riddick Bowe, that was one of mine, bro. That was one of mine. I think that would have been crazy. Lennox Lewis, Riddick Bowe, Bud and Boots would be an awesome fight. I think Vlog hit the nail on the head, and a lot of times him and I think alike, and it's almost like who's going to say it first. I think what makes that fight so fascinating is the Bomac and Pops Ennis aspect, because I think they're two of the best minds that are out here in terms of trainers, and to see them adjust and go back and forth, and then to have those guys execute would have been crazy. Absolutely crazy. Said Boots versus Ortiz is going to be fire. Beat Brawler, I think the fight happens. I think the fight happens because the zone not going to have it no other way. They're not going to give Ortiz any fights other than Boots. So
can I speak on this real quick?
Go ahead.
Can I speak on this? The way his manager talking, they talking like they Henry Hill and they got the king and they the Kings. Like they talking like they got the mob behind them or something, because he is talking about how DeZan is treating his fighter as if he's a slave. I'm like, what? First of all, bro,
That's
that's
real
bogus
quick.
for you to even say that. But just
Hey,
moving
bro.
on, he's really defending their position on what DeZan supposedly did by making it public.
Hey, bro. But here's the
Nah,
thing, though.
DeZan didn't make it public. Your fighter made it public by ducking it.
Bro, and here's another thing. This is how I know DAZN got him by the back of the neck. You don't even say that unless DAZN says that's your only option. Either fight that fight or you want to go to another network.
Bro,
you know what I'm saying?
What network? What network?
Exactly.
What
exactly
network?
my point. Exactly my point.
What are you talking about? Y'all can go anywhere and fight, bro. What you gonna be on Triller next week? Like, come on, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
there's only one.
bro.
There's only one place you can fight. It's only one.
There's only one place you can go, bro. That's why, and DeZan knows it. That's why they having these different tiers, and they're up in they top level tier supposed to be a super duper grip, probably like $100 a month or something for they top tier programming. So it's gonna be bananas, bro. But I think they do more than just boxing over. I think they cover like Bellator or something else, maybe. You know what I mean? And that bare knuckle thing too. So they may have reasoning behind them raising their prices. But that don't got nothing to do with these contracted fighters continuing to fight cupcakes every other week. And then wanting to be glorified behind you fighting cupcakes. You just fought Lubin. Lubin been washed since who dropped him? Was that Charlo that Molly whopped him like that? And then he just went to war with Fundora? I'm surprised he was still walking around upright after that fight, bro. Come on, bro. Y'all can't give these dudes no credit for this, man.
Hey, bro. Yeah, I mean, Virgil Ortiz, man, stop ducking the smoke. Stop ducking the smoke. Like,
he got rent to pay, bro. He ain't got no choice. That's like me not getting up in the morning and going to work. Man, when the call made, you got to go. And the call meaning life has to go on. The lifestyle that you want to live and that you're probably accustomed to at this point, you got to try to uphold that. So that means you got to go take your ass to work.
Virgil
so go to work.
Virgil, it's time to clock in and go to work. You and Boots, stop playing around. Stop playing around, bro. You done had them in the ring. Y'all done had them in the ring. Y'all done did the face off. Y'all done did all the talking. Talking stops. Sign that contract and let's make this happen.
Boy, Justin, no, you know what the number is. Real quick, the number is 10.
You know
that's what they want.
I'm gonna say this real quick before we move on to the next comment. I'm gonna stop allowing people to have it both ways in terms of their discussion when it comes down to Boots and Virgil Ortiz. You can't say Boots is not a name. Boots don't mean anything. Boots hasn't done enough in his career, but then you're commanding $10 million. $10 million, you get that. $10 million.
My point exactly.
You don't get paid $10 million.
That's a little shot to Bud too. That's a little cap towards Bud too, because he was talking that same bullshit about money. And it's not feasible.
I could take that talk. I could take that talk from Bud more than Virgil. Virgil hasn't done anything.
I get it. We give Bud grace because he's been undisputed. We give him grace. Okay, I get it.
Yeah, but Virgil can't go there. Virgil can't go there.
No.
He ain't selling out. No, bro. And on top of that, Boots is the one that's doing numbers in his hometown. I said, when has Virgil sold out anything?
Yeah, he ain't sold out nothing in San Antonio. Ain't he from San Antonio? I think he's from San Antonio.
He's from Texas. I don't know what part of Texas he's from, but
he's from Lodi, Texas, or somewhere. But he ain't selling out no arenas.
I'm like, you can't have it both ways. I'm like, Virgil.
He's not Canelo. They want him to be the next Canelo. He get ready to lose Ryan Garcia. They want him to be the next Canelo and have DAZN carry him as if he's Canelo.
Virgil, stop playing around and sign that contract, bro. Like, you're gonna come out good anyway. If Boots beat you, okay, cool, no problem. You know what I'm saying?
They don't like to take them kind of L's.
Hey,
Canelo can take that L he just took because he going with a lot of zeros in front of that L or after that L. There's a lot of zeros. So
bro, when I say Boots going to dog walk that dude, yo, when I say he going to dog walk Virgil, I'm putting the crib up on it. When I say I put the crib up on it, bro, like he's going to dog walk Virgil.
Boots going to probably be like 1,200 to 1, bro.
No, they're silly. No, they're silly enough to make it close. They're silly enough to make it close, bro. That's why I said I'm gonna cash out something crazy. I'm gonna
Oh,
cash
well,
out
then if
something
they
crazy.
do something goofy like that, I'm
They gonna
all
cash out
over it.
something
But
crazy.
I might bet on every round. You know what I mean? Just cause, but just keeping it, you know what I mean, keeping everything thorough though. Just do it, bro. You have
It's
no
just
other
not
money
gonna.
fights. You have nowhere
Right.
else to go.
Sign it.
There's
Sign it.
no ESPN. There's no nothing. Listen,
Yeah.
this is what I'm thinking. DeZan gonna let Golden Boy ride that garbage ass contract out because he ain't got no stable, so he's not filling up full cards. He's not able to do it. So they've been pulling people and whoop-de-whoop. I think they're gonna do something with PBC. Because they're gonna have to be linked with somebody.
Yeah, but I mean, I ain't trying to see Virgil and Spence either. I'm cool on that too. I don't want to see that.
No, I'm saying.
Oh, I get what you're saying, though. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying for
They're
sure.
not gonna bring Golden Boy and them back. They try once DeZan through with them, they're gonna be toast. That's why De La Hoya got Terrence's name in his mouth. I think he begging for a fight. That's why he talking cap. It's like
save it. Justin said, "Who you got, Norman Jr. or Boots?" Now, Justin, I'm gonna answer this in past tense and in present. When they was negotiating in the past, I had Boots winning within 5 rounds because I'm from Philly and I am well aware of the sparring that they had, Boots and Brian Norman Jr. Brian Norman Jr. would have got dog walked. That's what I told you back then. Brian Norman is a little bit better now than he was when they was doing the negotiating. So I give him an extra round. He get knocked out in 6, except for 5. But Boots would have mopped him. He would have mopped Norman Jr. And there's no disrespect to Brian Norman Jr. No disrespect at all. I think he's actually overachieving in his career. There's no disrespect to him. Boots is that nice though. He's that nice. Yeah, I think Boots mops the floor with Norman Jr. You want to comment on that, or you want to keep it moving?
I had Boots within 5 myself. Easy work. Probably played with him the first 2 rounds, but just easy work. Brian Norman he's a good puncher, and that's it. That's all you bring it to the table. I'm no cap on your dad, but he's not strategic because you have to have the ability to be able to carry out that strategy. His son does not have that ability. Just that simple.
And that's something that we talk about on the show all the time. Coaches giving out advice to fighters, and that fighter is not capable of carrying out the task. And even when he fought Devin, it's really nothing he could do, nothing he could tell his son to do because his son wasn't capable of carrying that stuff out. Beat Brawler said Prime Tyson was a monster. Absolutely. Said yes, it would. Beat Brawler laughing. Laser Sharp Gaming laughing. Beat Brawler said my dog Ty. Bud versus Mayweather. That's a nasty fight. I'm not even gonna spend no time on that, bro. I really don't know. I really don't know. I had to think about that. I had to sleep on that. And come up with something. He said, now who is he beating out of the 4? Well, Vlog got him 2-2. Who you had Floyd beating out of the 4 Kings? Who you had?
Easy walking over Duran. Quick little stroll around the park with Duran. Tommy Hearns, spectacular knockout. That's how I had them 2 broke down. Wow. And that's just off the top of my dome because Tommy Hearns is a gunner. So he want to leave himself open.
I think that's probably where we differ. I have him beating Duran, which I don't think that's an easy walk in the park, but I do think he beats him. I think with Tommy Hearns, I think he loses to Tommy Hearns because Prime Tommy, that jab is top 5 all time. And if Floyd has a problem with anything, is somebody with a jab. So that would have been a classic fight. And I had him losing to Hagler and Sugar Ray to answer the question. Justin, he said, I knew Pretty Boy Floyd 2002 era. I was a boxing program in Grand Rapids, Michigan. I liked him then, not the Money May side. I mean, it was a difference with Money May and Pretty Boy Floyd, not only from a business acumen, but as a fighter as well. Pretty Boy Floyd had healthy hands. He was coming to get you inside that ring. He was walking cats down, when he had the opportunity. Pretty Boy Floyd more so with a lead straight right hand, counter shot, shoulder rolls, you know what I'm saying? Pot shots, things like that. So it was two different people, two different fighters. But I do feel like Pretty Boy Floyd is, all time. You know what I'm saying? Beat Brawler said Usyk versus Lennox Lewis. Ugh, that's a good fight too. I ain't even gonna get into that. That's a good fight too. Too many dream fights. You ain't lied, bro. That's why I said I don't want to get into it too much because I'm like, we'll be here all night. Beat Brawler said, time to clock in and give us the fight that we have to see. Yeah, you talking about Virgil Ortiz, man. I agree, man. He ain't got nothing else better to do, man. Go ahead and fight Boots. He said it's Boots' turn to take over. Beat Brawler, I'm glad you made that statement because I want to kind of get into this next topic. Now that Bud is officially retired, is Boots next up? Is kind of like the future face of boxing?
I think Boots been the face of boxing before PBC left the airwaves. Boots quietly been holding up the pillars of boxing by just going to work. Fighting who accepts the contract and gets in the ring. Not playing the politics, not crying about being looked over and ducked over and all of that nonsense that people do out here making, talking about tainted supplements and all this nonsense with no proof behind it. No, he doesn't do any of that irrational conversation. All I've seen from this young cat is just go to work. This young bull just been going to work. That's it. That's what do you expect? Get up, put your boots on, go to work. So because he hasn't gotten the limelight that all these quote unquote super fans of all these other boxers, when they really just casuals, expect of him, they not respecting what he's actually done. And that's just go to work. Maintain one of the highest knockout ratios in boxing currently. Able to move. Go ahead.
I think from a pure talent standpoint, you would like to see Boots kind of make the jump. I think with Boots, if I'm Eddie Hearn, he's kind of in a weird position because it's I think the best way to build up Boots is to get him names. It may not necessarily be some of the fights that everybody wants to see, but I think
okay, real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Boots Spence right now. Are you paying for it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I am.
Is that a name that you're talking about? Is that a bigger name than Ortiz?
It's not a more credible name than Ortiz, but that Spence is the type name that he needs to get to that level.
But is it Bozy and Boots' problem that these dudes have walked past them in the hallways at these different arenas and in the boxing events that I'm sure they have been to? That I'm so sure they've been to.
It's not their problem, but I mean it's gonna affect them going forward because we've seen situations where guys are so good inside the ring that if they don't get the right opponents, they kind of just fall by the wayside after a while. So we don't want that with Boots. So Hearn has to get this Virgil Ortiz fight done. He has to get it done. However it needs to get done, that fight needs to get done. Now, after Ortiz, my personal suggestion, right? Because 154 has a couple of names that are still big names, but they're not as hot in the boxing streets. You take a Spence fight. You take a Charlo fight. We talking Mel, not Maul. You give him Spence, you give him Mel after Ortiz. Now we cooking with something. Now we cooking.
I would go a different way. I'd go a different way. I go Ortiz and then I go Madrigal. Because if he can knock Madrigal out, which I think he can, that will, to me, propel him again past Crawford, where I already had him for the past 3 to 5 years. I already had this young man as pound. I'm the one that was calling him as pound for pound, uncrowned pound for pound, even before he was technically a welterweight champion. Because, dude, what he was doing in the ring tells me where you at on my personal pound for pound list. So I was already screaming Boots from a ways back, bro. Way when he was on the undercard for PBC. So I'm just saying.
Well, I don't have a problem with a Madrigal fight. I guess it kind of depends on what Boots is aiming for. I think Madrigal is a quality win for sure.
You got to also look at it from a promotional position based on how they promote big fights, and we know it's based on which your dress code is, so to speak, quote unquote. And you know where I'm going, so I just ain't really trying to have it go that way on the programming. But I'm just saying that makes sense to me. Based on
I'm not saying that it doesn't. No, I'm not saying that it doesn't. Like Madrigal is a good fighter. That's a good win. I would like that matchup a lot better if Madrigal had a belt. That'll definitely put an extra little stamp to it. But just a regular, fight, just a regular fight.
But no, because he's a former champion, that kind of makes it, you know what I mean, a fight worth.
Well, that's if you're looking at it that way, I would go Spence and Mel because they're former champions too with bigger names. If you're gonna look at it that way.
But we know Turkey and them like to do the international thing a lot. So international,
but he also know Boots Spence and Boots Mel gonna bring in a lot more cheddar because nobody knows.
I would love to see a super fight with just 2 Black American males on a Turkey Al-Sheikh main card, even if it's the co-main. I would like to see if they would do that. I don't think that's part of how they design what they do. I just don't think it is.
I think if Turkey thinks of Boots the way Eddie Hearn and a lot of other people think of Boots, I think he'll kind of break the pattern a little bit for Boots. But it's all going to depend on this Ortiz fight. If he mops Ortiz like I think he's going to mop Ortiz, then I think we could see some things shake, with Boots for sure. Beat Brawler said, I think he's up after Ortiz. Yeah, I think if Boots get a spectacular victory over Ortiz, even if he just puts on a clinic, like it ain't got to be no spectacular knockout or anything. And I think if he just puts on a clinic against Ortiz, man, he'll be on the road to being next up for sure.
Quick question. When?
Ortiz? I think
time is everything. Time is everything.
I agree. I think they'll sign on. I think they'll sign on by the end of January. I think the fight will go down in like April. I'm optimistic because I think Virgil has a deadline too.
I agree with that because no, it's not Virgil having a deadline. It's Golden Boy having their deadline. That contract ends this summer. So beginning of June. So either they in and they gonna play ball and get whatever bag it's gonna be, whether it be 5 to 6. If he gets 6 for this fight, I think he win it. You know what I mean? Because it's an L. You know who walks around gets paid $6 million to take an L.
If Virgil gets this fight is worth 5. It's worth 5.
I think it's worth 5. I think it's a $10 million fight. And if they went 50-50, I wouldn't be mad. I think Boots and them is them kind of players in this game that they wouldn't even argue it. But I know he wouldn't because he's a champ.
Bro, and you know the thing is, I think that fight can go down in Vegas, and that's like a $12 to $15 million fight. I think it's a $12 to $15 million fight.
Yeah, if it's not
I think Virgil Ortiz fans would travel, and us in the city, we travel.
Yeah,
we gonna travel for sure.
Yeah, that's a lot of Latinos out there in Nevada,
and Philly, New York. We gonna travel out there to Vegas.
Oh yeah, ballers travel. Ballers travel, baby.
We gonna travel all day. Peter Moran said someone getting knocked out. Yeah, I do see Boots and Virgil ending in a knockout.
I actually, can I call it this way? I call a corner stoppage. Remember, you heard it right here. They not gonna want Virgil to get slapped around like that. They gonna see him catching shit, and they gonna throw 4 towels in that motherfucker. You gonna see 4 arms coming across the ring with towels flying in that ring because they not gonna want to see. They not gonna want that man to be carted out of there. And we know Boots can cart somebody out the ring real quick, especially if it's a lot of friction and a bit of animosity, and you get a young bull like that with his horns really raided. Come on now. He mess around, make an extra statement.
Could happen. Beat Brawler said really enjoyed the debate champs. Yeah, man. Beat Brawler. Definitely subscribe if you're not already subscribed, man. This is. I mean, I don't even want to sound like this is a flex or a brag, but this is just something that we do. Like as far as the podcast is concerned, the boxing talk, the discussion, like this is normal for us. We've been doing this for years. We've been doing this for years, just talking this boxing talk the way that we do, and it's really just you getting a different type of conversation because usually we got 3-4 other cats, in the show with us. You know what I'm saying? So we got multiple versions of how this show goes, but that's pretty much what we do. You know what I'm saying? Now, as far as I guess maybe get into some news before we get up out of here. Yo, I know you don't rock with him, bro, but I gotta bring it up. Did you hear your boy Tim Bradley, bro? Like, he is hilarious. Can I speak on it real quick? Because I don't need. Did you see his video with he had 2 videos with Andre Ward, and I'm gonna kind of bring both of them up. The one that he had with Andre Ward, and he was talking about the first time that he met Bud and they sparred, and he said Bud whipped his ass, said he didn't know who he was, and he immediately tried to buy him out his contract and get him signed and all that. And I thought that was a real dope story from Tim Bradley, and it was good to hear that type of story too, because Tim be talking off the rails sometimes. So to see him sit back and really like kind of look back on the start of Terence Crawford, I thought that was a dope conversation. But Tim got right back to the BS, and he said he would beat Jay Leon Love and Jake Paul in the same night. Same night. Yo,
I mean, Tim wild, bro. But Tim wild because I think Tim, when he looked at himself inside the ring from outside the ring, I think he still thinks he was punching harder than he actually was. He had a couple of biceps and some shoulders, and he thought he was really banging. Tim is not banging like that, bro. Tim, don't go out here in these streets and get dog walk, bro. Like,
hey, bro,
slow down, bro. Just slow down, bro.
Hey, vlog. So is he beating Jay Leon Love right now? He beating Jay Leon Love right now?
I don't think so. Just based on, like, bro, you wasn't known for stretching boots, and as an older dude, That's the one thing you have to rely on. If you ain't got nothing else, you still slinging hammers. So you was never slinging hammers, bro. You was throwing around, you know what I mean, some rubber mallets, but you wasn't slinging hammers.
Oh man.
I
Damn,
told you, he be getting beside himself sometimes, bro. I mean, I know it's cap, but damn, bro, stop, bro. This supposed to be real boxing talk, bro. That like, as an ex-professional, a dude that was paid professionally to commentate on boxing, these dudes are so bogus. Oh my god, they got boxing scene got Paulie Malignaggi as their mouthpiece now, because before they were just posting regular quiet pages. Now they done put Paulie Malignaggi with it. His super duper super lollipop behind talking about this fight game. And it's like, bro, if you don't get this half of races off this screen, bro, I can't do it. I cannot do it. The Max Kellermans and all these super goofies, bro. Like, how is Max Kellerman a boxing connoisseur or boxing just pundit of this level? And let's just be honest, he ain't never threw a jab a day in his life. So how are you the high all and end all of this boxing world, bro? Like, especially from a commentary and a pundit perspective, which most of the fans listen to, because the fights aren't happening every day. So us as boxing fans, we get a lot of our eats from cats like that. But why? Like, I just don't understand that. Why they keep going to dudes like that, bro? Like, this dude's a fucking goofy. Like, he that's another half of racist. So you get two dudes together and they make a full racist. Like, come on, bro. This is stop, bro. I can't do it with these dudes. So I just took boxing scene off my shit. Every time I see Maxie Pad Kellerman, I'm on his helmet, bro. I'm on his helmet, bro. I'm telling you, bro. I'm and that's no homo, bro. I'm on his helmet, homie. You's a goofy, bro. Why is you talking about boxing? When have you ever gotten in a fight? And I ain't talking about with your little sister, the time she whooped your ass. I'm talking about a legitimate fight where as though you could really say, yo, if I would have done that, I gained this knowledge. You have nothing outside of your skin complexion. Stop, bro. Listen to real cats like an OG that's been in the ring. I was in the oven. You understand what I'm talking about? It ain't there no more, but salute to Joe and the whole fam and everything and what we did back in the day. I had my time, you understand me? That's why I do what I do, and I have the love I have for this sport.
And everybody in Philly done been in the oven at some point, for sure. Ty Finney, the legend in the building, man, says salute. Big shout out to you, bro, man. Big shout out to you. He said, I'm cool with Bud retiring. He ain't got nothing else to prove. He was already getting older and fighting once a year. Yeah, I mean, when you at that prize fighting level, you're gonna fight once a year. And like I said, outside of like a Boots fight, it was really nothing else I wanted to see anyway. Like, I don't want to see a Canelo rematch. Canelo not going to be able to do nothing. He's another one I want to see retire. I want to see Canelo retire.
He should have been retired, bro.
Yo,
he should have been. Bro, he got that. Listen, that's why DeZan is in the hole for paying him for that goddamn European tour, bro. Like he was the lost member of the Beatles, bro. That was the trashiest contract in sports history.
Hey, bro. That expiration date on Canelo was like January 1st, like 2015. Like, it been time for him to go. Time for him to go.
And he's still on people pound for pound list. I'm like, bro, if y'all don't get off these boxing corners, bro, y'all are out here looking like old hookers. Stop with this nonsense, bro.
Hey, bro. I'm gonna get the Legends comment, and then we can get into the pound for pound list. Or a lot of people say pound for pound, just your top 10 fighters you think that's in the game right now. Legend said, is AJ and Fury really happening? That fight will sell out fast. Fury is the king of retiring and coming back. That is a fact. He done retired about 5 times and came back. That is his ultimate negotiating ploy, over the last couple years. Do I think the fight's happening? I really don't know. I really don't know. I mean, if it does happen, it kind of shows you how stale the heavyweight division is right now. Because if you really think about it, Legend, the two fights that might be on the docket are the two fights that people, the hardcores, really don't want to see. I don't think the hardcores want to see AJ and Tyson Fury. Like, that fight should have happened years ago. And then Usyk and Wilder, that fight should have happened years and years ago. You know, when Wilder was still on his run. You know what I'm saying? But really, those are still like the top four names in the division, and the division is stale. The division is stale. There's no real new talent, no real contender that I see that could really take over and just take the bull by the horns in the heavyweight division. The heavyweight division is dry. It's dry, to say the least. So
Nah, it's not. It's not dry. These cats just don't want that real smoke that's out there. They ducking the Martin Picolis of the world. You understand what I'm talking about? You get a cat like a Jared Anderson. I ain't hearing Fury screaming for that young lion. You know what I mean? Regardless on what happened to him versus Picoli.
But that's the problem. That's the problem. That's the problem. That's the last product we seen from Jared Anderson.
No, what I'm saying is, if you're calling out, if you're in the position of, okay, I'm the headliner, I'm the guy, why are you calling out cats that's already washed up or fight? Like, come on, bro, we done seen AJ down 2 or 3 times. Would it make a difference to us if Fury was able to drop AJ and win that fight by knockout? No, it wouldn't do anything to up you outside of it being a win for your side. And it's like, is it really a win? Like, come on, bro. Like, just like that makes absolutely no sense for what it is outside. If you can't see what it is for what it, then I can't help you see. I can't buy you no glasses. I can't open your eyes to what's going on.
Hey, bro,
it makes no sense.
And bro, just to kind of cap that off, it's no better time in boxing when the heavyweight division is hot and it's cooking. It's nothing like a premium heavyweight fight. Like, it's nothing like it. Like, of course you got, 140. I would say the top 3 most prestigious divisions are heavyweight, 147, and middleweight. Those are the 3 premier divisions if you're talking historically in the sport of boxing. Welterweight, middleweight, heavyweight. But when heavyweight got the hitters, oh my goodness. Is crazy. And right now, heavyweight just really don't have the hitters. It's good fights out there, but I'm talking about we don't have really the names. We really don't have the names right now.
The only way you can get your name is if a dude like Gassiev is able to take his route and they keep putting him in front of better and better competition. All right, you got the belt with you fought a half dead dude. Salute
the regular belt. Got the regular belt.
Bro, they didn't call him a regular champion. They called that man the world heavyweight champion. That is what I'm talking
about. He's the world heavyweight regular champ.
Bro, I'm just this is the problem,
you, bro. I know
this, but as far as I'm concerned, that's what I'm talking about. A dude like Gassiev, if he takes on a Wilder, we haven't seen him against a Wilder. We've seen what's the name against Dillian White. We've seen him against AJ. We don't want to see him against Deontay Wilder. Stop it. So if Gassiev calls out Deontay Wilder, I get that. That's a young lion calling out an older statesman saying, yo, I'm ready. I built up. I got something for you. Dangling this little belt or whatever. I'm just saying, bro, this is the problem with these promoters and these dudes that are behind these tables, bro. They only want to see one style of thing instead of really seeing good competition. I get it.
You know what? Let me say this real quick, bro, just to support your point. Because we have a lack of networks in boxing, we don't have opportunities to actually build up these fighters anymore. Back in the day, they could get on HBO. They can get on Showtime. We can go back further than that. They can go on Tuesday Night Fights. They can go on Showbox. You can find them on USA. it's so many different networks you could go to, and you could actually see fighters actually develop in front of your eyes. We only have one player, the Zone and Turkey. There's the only players right now in terms of putting on consistent fights. We need that layer underneath the HBOs, the Showtimes, and all of that to actually watch these fighters actually develop, especially these heavyweights. So it's like now it's going to be harder for us to actually build up fighters because there's less platforms for them to go on. You agree with that?
No, I don't deny it, but I think in a way, in the long run, it might help boxing if you only have the big platform like DAZN and everybody kind of got to go up under that umbrella and play ball. But then again, they could play the cupcake fight long game that much more. But if they doing the charging levels that they doing with the tiers and all of this different stuff, like how I guess Patreon is, they may have to continue to feed the upper echelon of boxing heads that truly pay the top dollar to see these prime fights. So I think it can help. Not overthinking it too much right now, but I think if everybody did the TNT roster the top ranked roster has to go over there. The PBC roster already been over there because we just seen them cupcake the Italian bull or the what's the bull Paulie Milanicki. They just cupcaked him with that garbage ass French dude on the turkey card, so they could still cupcake these fighters.
You talking about Vito? You talking about Vito?
Yeah,
Milanicki Jr.?
Yeah, they cupcaked him with some African French dude or Italian dude or whatever he was, but he was a trash bag, bro. So he just stuck the pin in him and got rid of his ass. But that's what I'm talking about. Like, that's what I mean. They happen to give him. This is what I'm talking about. Turkey and them doing the same thing. So out of all the people y'all could find for that dude, y'all found that garbage ass black dude.
I think
that's who y'all. I'm just saying how.
To be honest with you, that's what I'm saying though. Like, just when you have situations like that, like this is where you need the extra platforms, because it's like, how many Riyadh season cards are you actually going to put on? Now he does put on other cards with lower tier fighters. He does have a different name for it, so he gives younger cats an opportunity. But it's not that many cards. I think boxing is so global, you can't have just one network. Like,
but if you have that network with the major rosters, the major, combatants, the PBC, Top Rank, obviously what's left of Golden Boy. If you have them up under your banner and you're able to cross work their stars against each other.
Well, that's the thing. That part I understand. I understand that part. But the thing about it is just if everybody's under one roof, you have to put out so many dates. Like, you know what I mean? You have to put out so many dates. Like, it'll be insane.
But look at it this way though, Pimp. They gotta feed what their fan base is. They're charging a fan base, right? So that means for monthly streaming service, I don't want to fight every 3 months, but y'all want to get paid every month. You see what I mean?
Yeah, I'm with you. No,
it kind of makes sense where they could do it, where they could still feed the casuals these cupcake fights.
It's just a lot. That's a lot of for one.
There's a lot of management, no doubt. It's a lot of management. It's a lot of T's to be crossed and I's to be dotted.
I think a lot of it is just financial. I think financially, boxing's too big for one single umbrella. It's just too much money that got to fly around. You know what I mean? Other people's gonna have to take that responsibility. But I got my guy Legend in the building, man. What's going on, bro?
Oh yeah, go ahead. Real quick, I want to introduce the Brody.
Legend, what's going on, baby?
Salute, man. Yeah, I've been just chime in like before you guys, end the show. So
yeah, for sure. Go ahead, vlog.
Man, I was gonna say, what if DAZN is in a position where they can pull investments in from the outside? So the guys that would normally say, I put up the money for this fight, they're just saying to DAZN, I'll lighten your cost and put something in your books as I make money on the return and on the.
I'm with that. I'm with that. But see, I'm with that. But see, the thing is, in the business world, that's a hedge fund. And this goes back to Al Heyman kind of ruining a lot of different things. He had a hedge fund, billion plus, and he wasted a lot of that money on garbage ass fights, and he screwed up a lot of relationships with a lot of networks. That's why I said like that one, having everything under one umbrella, it can be great, but it can be dangerous too, because Al Heyman had a lot of stuff under one umbrella, and he burned every single bridge he was on.
Because he was not doing what he ended up doing late, getting the Canelos to come over, getting the Crawford fight. That he did that too late in the game. They were supposed to have been on that early. At least
but he
every
wasn't.
third. No, that's what I'm talking about.
I'm with you.
No, now we in a situation where don't nobody got nowhere to go. So if they want to fight, that's my point. So now you're in a situation with these fighters and their backers having to go to the Zan and negotiate. I don't know what hedge fund business that is. To me, that's just common sense. If the water company is the only water company in town, I got to go to the water company and get my water.
I get all that. All I'm saying is Al Heyman had it like that.
But Al Heyman is not a boxing guy. DeZan and them came in under the banner of being a boxing streaming service. So their whole concept of building their streaming service behind boxing has to broaden and get smarter and get more intelligent and have a more open mindset of how to make this more profitable outside of just charging somebody.
I'm not disagreeing with you. The only point I'm trying to make is that when you give that much power to one umbrella or to one company, they the only, like, and going back to your water analogy, right? I need water. There's only one water company in town, right? It's only one water company in town. I need water. I got to go to that company. That company, some things got to be put in place for that water company to remain stable, because that's the only thing that you got. With boxing, we don't have anything in place to make sure that one umbrella stays stable. You understand what I'm saying? Like, we have to create something where that one umbrella remains stable.
You know what that is? You know what that is?
Go ahead.
Them having their access to whatever satellites they using. That's stability. Because if you ain't got nowhere for boxing to be seen at, this ain't 1945. Ain't nobody listening to this shit on the radio. So people want to see this shit, whether they in the building or they at the crib with the rest of the neighbors on the block hooting and hollering for their favorite fighter. This is what people want to see. So if the van is smart, they know they the big dog on the block. They the only dog on the block. Don't get to going and pissing everywhere. Piss where you need to piss and handle your business everywhere else.
But okay, but not to get too deep into it. I think boxing and its old model in terms of how they do business, in terms of bringing in money, I think they need to broaden their horizons a little bit, because you got some people going through like drastic measures to try to make $1, and I'm talking about lower tier as far as boxing is concerned. So I think how boxing goes about their business, I think that needs to be addressed as well, which will fix a few things as far as like that stability that you and I are talking about. I'm going to read this next comment. I'm going to let y'all know I do not have a burner account. I do not have a bot. I'm just going to read it. Abdul Rahim said, "Hi, Jeff and chat. How are you? You know everything about boxing. You're intelligent, stat information and breakdowns, educated professional boxer and fighters, knowledgeable, and know your stuff. Thanks." I appreciate that, brother. Please subscribe to the channel. That was a very nice comment. But it was so nice I had to preference it and let people know that I didn't write that about my damn self. Let me see.
I thought he was talking about me at first. I misheard. My bad.
Well, if the comment was so nice,
I'm joking with you, bro. I know you talking
We
about
gotta
you,
let
bro.
everybody know we didn't type that by ourselves. You know what I mean? Let me see. MD Distribution 30. Big shout out to you. Said AJ versus Jake Presser just ended. Yeah, bro. To be honest with you, bro, just I don't know what round Jake's getting knocked out in, but he's gonna get he's gonna get stretched. I don't think it's gonna be nothing crazy. Might be one of them phantom shots or something like that. They asked Deontay Wilder who they think, what round they think Jake Paul was gonna get knocked out in. Wilder said whatever round the contract says. I was like, damn. I was like, yo, that's funny. That is absolutely funny. A legend. As far as before we get up out of here, with Bud Crawford, like, what was your thoughts on him being retired and all that?
Say, man, I'm 100% cool with it. Like I said, this guy is what 3-time undisputed. I was one of the guys that picked him to lose against Canelo, so he proved me wrong, man. He made Canelo look easy work. He was good with his movement, so I'm cool with it. Like I said, I did want him to fight, Janet versus Laura winner, but that fight didn't even happen. So it kind of surprised me at the same time, but I'm 100% cool with it, man. 3-time undisputed, man. You can't knock it.
Yeah. Nah, I'm with you 100%, man. Ryan, man, 9138. What's up with you, bro? He said, guys, how long is this AJ fight lasting? Seriously, 1 round? I don't know, bro. It might last more than 1 round, maybe 2,
Bro, this
3.
it's an exhibition, bro. Netflix just wants him to take a L to kind of like get the fans behind him again. It's like, okay, you know what I mean? You take a loss, the people that support you, they want you right back out there, and then you just go back to the cupcakes that you've been fighting. That's all it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Netflix gonna put a lot of money behind him. They said get in there with a real fighter. And not just going the distance. He ain't gonna try to hurt that man. Cause that's the smartest thing I heard Wilder say in a while. If it ain't in the contract, then it ain't in the contract. But I do
that is
think
a fact.
Netflix wants his ass to take a L because you out here doing too much and you ain't no real fighter. And they even know that. So they like, yo, we gotta treat you like real fighters. Real fighters take losses. So take this L, baby, and sit your dumb ass down for a minute.
Yeah, Figure Boy 3 says, hi, what's going on with you? Yeah, like, let's get into this real quick. Now, since Bud is officially retired, let me get this comment real quick. Ryan said Joshua wins on points, completely destroys his legacy, though, will never be taken seriously. Listen, he's gonna knock Jake Paul out. You ain't gotta worry about that. Jake Paul is, even though I like the fact that he's taking the sport seriously. He's still cheeks inside the ring. He's cheeks. He's absolutely cheeks. But since Bud Crawford is out, he's retired. That I think we got to look at the pound for pound list. I think we got to look at the pound for pound list, or your top 10 fighters that you have in the sport right now. Because with Bud being retired, Bud basically leaves a spot open the pound for pound list. So let me get in here. Figure Boy says, who's your favorite fighter? My favorite fighter is James Toney of all time. All time James Toney. Legend, who's your favorite fighter? Do you have a favorite fighter?
I would definitely say Floyd, of course. Like Floyd is the one I watched the most when he was on his run. So yeah, but she said mentioning, since we talking about the top 10, like since Bud is out, my top 3 was Usyk, Bud, and Newey. But since Bud out, Usyk is still my number 1 because I think what he did, going up from cruiserweight to heavyweight, beating out, he's on top, undisputed champion. And he beat all these guys, and he gave them all rematches, beat them all even more convincingly in the rematch. So like, Usyk is definitely my number 1 pound for pound guy.
Okay. Vlog, you want to follow up?
My dude is definitely not Usyk. That's easy, baby. It's easy. Who is it, Jeff?
I don't even want to say it because I don't agree with it. Go say it.
I mean, it's Jerron Boots Ennis. Has been the best fighter on the planet for the past 5 years. Easy, hands down. There's nobody doing what he's doing.
So
not
the
that
beauty
rank.
of a pound for pound list, the beauty of a pound for pound list is you can craft it however you want to craft it. It's just my thing with pound for pound list is really like if you have a criteria or something behind it,
skill.
I'm cool with it.
It's skill. It's skill. It's all skill, baby. It start with skill, and then all the other hyperbole can be added. But if you don't have the skill to support any jockstrap carriers, then what they carrying your jockstrap for?
I will me personally to mix skill. So my pound for pound is mixed with skill and accomplishment. With that, I would.
Then he's accomplished.
I would
2 division champion.
Who
most avoided fighter in the game? Come on, baby. What you talking about?
And listen, I'm not disrespecting that. I would me personally, with Bud being out, I would probably go Usyk 1, me personally, only because it's a combination of the skill and the accomplishments. As far as Boots is concerned, me personally with him, for me, I think Boots, in terms of just his pure talent, I would probably, a lot of people don't have Boots on their pound for pound list. I'll put him on the back end of it because he doesn't have as many accomplishments as other people that I have on my list. But in terms of the eye test, just eye test period, Boots is top 5, just pure eye test, nothing else. Pure eye test, Boots is top 5 in terms of pound for pound. But like a list with like multiple criterias, you know what I mean? I would say.
I mean, who? So 2 weight division champ, current 90. I do believe it's 90.72% knockout ratio. Mm-hmm. Avoided by all top tier fighters back when Spence was hot. So he's been avoided since then. So how is he not number 1? So over old ass Usyk?
I can respond to that. I can respond to that. So Usyk has reached the mountaintop in 2 different divisions, right? In 2 different divisions.
Bro, don't nobody respect the cruiserweight division. Just stop.
That's fine.
You get no respect for no accomplishments in that garbage ass. Either you undersized or you it's like you in that mixed bag. And he don't get no credit.
Vlog. But the thing is, Vlog, even if you don't respect cruiserweight, he did it at the Glamour division. He did it at heavyweight. He's a smaller heavyweight. So if you don't want to give him credit there, you got to give him credit at the heavyweight division.
Against who? What was his competition at heavyweight? What monsters did he go through?
All of the top names.
What top names? The heavyweight division has been garbage for the past 15 years. Is
that Usyk's fault, though?
That doesn't help him. That's for sure.
So hold on.
Not going to help him.
Hey, legend, watch this. Who's accomplished more, Usyk or Boots?
You win that argument. I give you that. But has Usyk been avoided like Boots? No.
Yes.
Stop, bro.
Yes, bro.
Stop.
Yes, bro.
Stop, bro. Stop.
Vlog, you don't want to go back and forth with me on this one. You don't
want
to go back and forth with me on this one, bro.
You see, when Dubois got clipped in that rematch, he got up at the end of the count, went straight to the corner. He didn't want to smoke. And everybody was criticism used to, for the first fight with the low blow and all that. But the rematch, what do you do, man? You put him down. Dubois didn't want the smoke. He got on one straight to the corner. I don't want it.
A vlog. Usyk has been avoided just as much as Boots in his career.
How do you become world champion and undisputed? You just said he was undisputed at cruiserweight. So how do you become undisputed at cruiserweight and heavyweight, but you're avoided?
Because he always positioned himself in the ranks to be a number one contender. It got to a point where he couldn't get
or was it nobody in the division to be ranked above? So it was no fight. There was no real haggling and no under the table money had to exchange hands for him to get those rankings. There was nobody for him to be ranked above or ranked under, bro. Like there's no argument there with that, bro. Like this has been the worst era of heavyweight division. I'm going on a quarter century. We can talk a quarter century since 2000.
Even if people believe that Usyk at heavyweight, he can hold his own against some of these older dudes too.
I think Boots beats Usyk right now.
Put your screen up, man. I need to see something real quick. Put your screen up real quick.
What? What, man?
Can you point towards the table? I'm looking for a cup. I'm looking for a glass. I'm looking for a glass. Where's the bottle?
Nah, ain't none of that, bro. I'm just telling you, bro. Bro, come on, man. Skill for skill. That's all we talking about, bro.
If you're talking,
there is no fighter on anybody's top 10 list that is better physically than what this man does in the ring. Not nobody.
If you listen, I'm cool with you believing that. That's fine.
No. Give me a name on the top 10 list that physically does anything in the ring better than Boots. Even down to taking a punch. Even down to taking a punch.
The only thing I can really say about that, bro, and this is where your argument kind of goes off the rails a little bit. Who has he been in the ring? Who has right? But you have to listen. You have to showcase your skill against certain people.
Okay, you know what showcasing his skill has done? Made him avoid it. That's what showcasing his skill has done. Made him avoided by all those top guys that you're saying made Usyk who he is. The top guys being AJ, who got the whiskers of a alley cat.
Walk with me real quick, though. The same argument you're making, right, supports the Usyk point. You said Usyk, you said nobody's in cruiserweight, right? You said nobody's in cruiserweight.
So I don't
hold on. And nobody's in heavyweight, right? But Boots is getting avoided by everybody, right? Which means Boots hasn't been in the ring with nobody to really showcase what you're talking about.
Because they've avoided him.
Right, but you're technically saying Usyk is going through the same thing.
No, I'm just saying there's nobody in the division. That's not Usyk's fault. That's just nobody in the division. So it's not like he had to overcome this high obstacle, become this undisputed champion of the world. When you're flipping the coin, you have a dude that can't even get on the side of the mountain because they keep turning the mountain around on him. What you want him to do?
But that's why I said I can't give it to him yet. It's not his fault.
Okay,
I can't give it to him yet.
But my argument stands pat, though. My argument is still unbeaten.
I respect it. I respect that. If you think Boots is physically the most talented fighter in the game and you have him number one strictly off of skill, I respect that. The only thing that I'm saying is that for me to get on the boat with you, eventually I'm gonna need to see Boots in with some. I need to see them skills tested.
Okay, so what I'm gonna ask you to do is you the guru. Get on here and get all these fanboys for the Spencers and the Madrivals and the Ortizes to get in their fighter's ear and tell them to stop ducking this dude.
I agree with that as well.
Tell them, you know what they can do? This is how you can do this. Tell them to say, we're going to do what Crawford didn't do. That's all they got to do. We gonna fight Boots. They gonna win their fanboys over like that. They gonna be all out in front of their houses with their skirts on, dancing and cheering for these raggedy mothers. So I'm just saying, bro. Tell these fans and tell these fighters and they fans stop ducking this dude. Y'all been ducking this dude since he was a young peewee.
But I feel like multiple things can be right. You're definitely right in that aspect. A lot of fighters have ducked them. I think Brian Norman Jr. ducked them. It's a lot of people that duck Boots. You understand what I'm saying? Like I understand that, and I actually agree with that. But this is the problem that Boots has. We want to see Boots against the best. The best is not getting in the ring with him, and that's why I said Eddie Hearn.
So good.
Whatever the reason is, we're gonna eventually need to see him in the ring. We're gonna have to see him in the ring. But listen. But the thing is, like, it's so many dudes that's talented, and you really not 100% sure until you just see them against some top tier guys. I just want to see him against one or two top tier guys. Because he hasn't had too much. He hasn't had any resistance in his career. He hasn't.
What's the name? Todd just said he had Crawford losing to Canelo, and Canelo hadn't been in there with a top tier guy since in 5 years since the Bivol fight, and that was like 5 years ago. So, like, does like top tier? At what point is your career are you saying this guy is top tier and is it top tier now? So does that matter? He just beat a bunch of undefeated dudes throughout his career. It's like this last dude wasn't the first undefeated knockout KO guy he fought. Just because y'all didn't know his name doesn't mean his record wasn't standing for what it was. Like, come on, bro. What are we talking about?
So you talking about the Lima fight? The majority of people that I knew, right? The majority of people that I knew thought Boots was going to knock him out within the first 3 rounds.
But
sometimes your record, and Blunt, you know this. You can look at a guy's record and then you can watch him fight and you can see something completely different than what that record says. I watched Lima fight and I'm like,
I agree with
Lima's cheeks. They did a great job in picking him out, but that's what I'm saying. Boots don't need no more of those fights. So I agree with you. These top fighters, they need to step up to the plate. Because at some point, I'm going to end up on your side of the street, Vlog. If these guys going to keep ducking and nobody wants to jump in the ring with them, I'm going to throw them high on my pound for pound list just by default because nobody wants to jump in the ring with them. I'm eventually going to get there. I'm just not there yet. You're there. I'm just not there yet. I'm eventually going to get there if these dudes don't start stepping in the ring with them. And I'm talking about, like you said, like the Virgil Ortizes, the Spences, the Charlos, the Madramovs, and the Fundoras, all of these guys at 54, even if we talking 60, like I think Boots could go up to 60 and conquer 160 right now because there's nobody there.
You asked the question, who could go to 168 and grab all them belts? I got a name for you.
You think Boots can go to 68 right now?
And grab all them belts.
And grab all
right.
of them?
All them belts starting this year and have them all grabbed up by the end of 2027. I guarantee, like, if all a dude like that would need is 6 months to acclimate to the weight, get his legs up under him. Puncher power gonna go with him. He just a natural born puncher. It's just when he chooses to sit down and throw the home run shot, you know what I mean? He might Schmidt behind the plate. He like to play around a little bit.
I think 68 just I think that might be a little too heavy for him. 60 definitely though. 60 definitely I think he can do. But
so you saying that Boots is not physically built the same way as a Crawford? Physically built.
Not right now, no.
This man 27 years old.
I got you.
I mean, Roy did it. Roy went all the way up to heavyweight.
Yeah, but you see what happened you see what happened to him though after that.
But that's the difference. Boots don't have to come back down. He's been avoided. Why would I go back down to these streets I'm being avoided on?
Well, the thing about it is this, like he still has to. He really hasn't showed anything in 54, even though he just had a fight at 54. He's never fought at 60. He's never fought at 68. So, if out to your point, if Boots
Okay.
was to do that,
Didn't y'all just say that about Crawford? He never fought at
right?
54. He had one fight at 54. Boots had one fight at 54, grabbed the belt.
Yeah, but the thing about that is Madrimov
So
is
you
a way
saying
better
Boots
fighter.
skills are not comparable to Terence
No,
Bud Crawford?
uh, no, it's not
Wow.
comparable. No,
They
no,
not?
no.
Oh,
I'm gonna
okay.
tell you why. I'm
Yeah,
gonna tell you
I
why
know
though.
what you
I'm gonna
mean.
tell you
I
why.
know
I'm
what you
gonna
mean.
tell you
I
why.
know what you
I'm gonna
mean.
tell you
I know
why.
what you mean. Boots is
You know where
better.
I'm
That's
going.
what
You know where
you're
I'm going
saying
with
that
that.
without saying it. Yeah.
You know where I'm going with that. Like,
Yeah.
but
Boots
until
is better.
Bud has had the opportunity. Bud has had the opportunities to showcase against certain guys, but Boots just hasn't yet. So I kind of don't want to give it to him until I see it. That's all. But he looks the part. He looks the part. He looks the part. He
If I can
definitely
get
looks
that
the
out
part.
you, I have to be content. If I can get he looks the part, I'm
He looks
content.
the part. I never said that he didn't look the part. He definitely looks the part. It's just you just want to see it against certain guys, and we've seen this throughout history, man. Like I mean, we had people that just look like Superman. I mean, at one point Roy looked like Superman. James Toney looked like Superman at one point. B Hop looked like Superman at one point. Like we've seen guys that just have extreme skills and talent, and until they get up in there with just comparable competition, like you really just it's really like a leap of faith. It's really like a
But what
leap of
I'm
faith.
trying to tell you is, and what you're not seeming to understand is, there is no comparable competition.
So
There
if that's
is
the case,
none.
then if that's the case, then his situation will be no different than
His
Usyk's.
his situation is almost Jesus-like. It's
Well, you know the funny thing about you, yo. Hey, legend. Hey, legend. I know you just legend. I know you just got on, bro. Let me tell you what vlog be doing, bro. And it's genius. All right. When he makes a crazy ass comment, yo, he goes right to the avatar, bro. Like he takes his screen off because he can't say them comments with a straight face. Like if I tell him to turn his camera on and say it with a straight face, you gonna see all teeth, bro. You gonna see all teeth. You know what I mean? You gonna see all teeth. I love vlogs, man. I love vlogs, man.
No,
Yo,
I
but
want to get you
real
guys'
quick
opinion on
though.
something though.
go ahead, legend. Go ahead.
Yeah, cause I y'all probably already talked about it, but who did y'all pick between Roach and Pitbull?
You talking about as far as like who won?
Yeah. Did you agree with the
Roach.
draw? Was you cool with it, or were you?
I could. I thought Roach won the fight. I had Roach winning. I think. I don't remember my card. I think it was 7-5. I think I had a 7-5.
I had a 7-5.
I think I had a 7-5
for
Roach.
I think I personally thought it could have been 8-4 if he'd have got the point, because he definitely deserved the extra point. You know what I mean? Just on GP, all that goddamn holding.
Yeah,
it was like he was a toddler holding on to his mama.
Yeah, I thought Roach won the fight.
Okay.
I think whenever you're talking a 7-5 fight, it's kind of hard to say robbery because there's a 1 round difference. So I can't. Me personally, I would have leaned more towards the 8-4 than a 6-6. That's just me personally. But if somebody had it a draw, I'm not throwing stuff around the house because of it. I thought it was a really good fight. I thought it was a really, really good fight. But I thought the decision was wrong, but I've seen a lot worse. Legend. How'd you have it, Legend?
Yeah, cause I was out the country, so I watched it on my phone, so I can't really give a good assessment. But like from what I seen, Pitbull had the early rounds and Roach had the later rounds.
That's exactly how it went.
Yeah, but I just feel for Roach, man. Like this guy, like, he got a lot of eyes on him, during the Tank fight and afterward, the interviews, the buzz. Now he gets another draw. So, like, 2 back-to-back draws on the big stage, and, like, he's mad about both of them. Like, I feel for the dude, man.
I feel for him too, but I think I vlog. I don't know how you feel about this one. I think he won the Tank fight more clearly than he did the Pitbull fight. Me personally, I felt like Roach really did a lot in that Tank fight, to where he was beating Tank to the punch a lot of times in that fight. And I thought he won. I thought he beat Tank 8-4. I had him beating Tank 8-4. I can make an argument for Pitbull Roach 6-6 more so than Tank and Roach 6-6. I don't think Tank won 6 rounds. I don't think it was close to him winning 6 rounds in that fight. So Roach, the thing with Lamont, he just got to get back. He just got to get back to it. Get his next fight. He got to get back to it. He got to heal his hand up. His hand broke. You know what I'm saying? He just got to get back to it. He could probably get another pay-per-view fight. Pay-per-view fight.
So let me ask you this then.
Mm-hmm.
Are you cool with the Roach versus Frank Martin fight?
Frank Martin and Roach, I'm okay with that fight. Like I'm okay with that fight. I think that would be a good fight for both guys. I think with the performances that Roach has had, I think Roach can get a better name than Frank Martin. I think he can get a better name than Frank Martin. I would like to see, it would be a good fight though, Legend.
I got one.
Go ahead.
I like Martin and Rolly.
Frank Martin and Rolly?
Yeah.
Rolly's at 147 though.
Yeah, Rolly 47 though.
Oh, Rolly up at 40.
He got a belt at 47, bro. He got a belt at 47. He one of the champs.
Oh, that's why he out here talking about not fighting Devin. Oh, okay. Yeah, now it makes sense. Now it makes sense. Okay.
Legend, you know who I like, bro? I think Roach and Richardson Hitchens would be a great fight. And it'll be a strap on the line. I think that'll be a great fight for both guys.
What about Ford?
Awesome fight. Say it again.
Yeah. What about Ford?
Oh, Ray Ford. Yeah. Ray Ford not that heavy though. He not that heavy.
He had 35, so he could come up to 40.
Yeah,
because I think he called out Richardson.
He a small 35 though. That ain't gonna.
He'll bang it up. He got heart. I like it. Scrap.
I like Ray Ford, man. I think Eddie Hearn's done his best promotional job with Ray Ford.
Yeah.
I think he did a great
job. Put him in some tough fights, very entertaining, and made him earn his check.
He got him overseas too. I think he did a great job with Ray Ford. Let me get these last 2 joints out of here so we can get up out of here. Ryan said Bud Crawford versus Mayweather, Prime versus Prime. Who you got? We covered that earlier. I would have to think about that, bro. I would, off the top of my head, I would probably lean Floyd. If we talking money. If we talking Pretty Boy Floyd, I would probably lean Floyd. But that's a tough fight to call. Ryan said Boots Ennis isn't pound for pound, has potential, but has to be elite fighter. I guess beat an elite fighter. Ryan,
do me a favor, Ryan. Tell them elite fighters to stop playing duck, duck, goose, baby.
Yeah. Figure Boy said, "Do you think Mike Tyson, Jake Paul was rigged?" It was choreographed. I'll say that. It was choreographed, for sure, man. But man, our 50 minutes strong, man. We gonna get up out of here, man. Oh, you know what? I forgot to say this too, bro. This episode is the first episode that was streaming on Kick. Your boy on Kick now. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta get the details and the information on that. So we actually gonna expand where we're gonna be streaming Throw the Hook podcast. So it's gonna be on Facebook, YouTube. It's gonna be on Kick and Twitch, and we're probably gonna get back on X as well. So it's gonna be streaming on 5 different platforms, starting the next episode. So that's big. That's big for the channel. It's big for us. And we should have the podcast on all of the podcast sites as well, on Apple, Spotify. I should have that done by the end of the week. So if you want to find Throw the Hook podcast, you can definitely find it on those platforms, including YouTube. But this was a good show for sure. Definitely. Legend, give them your social media and all that. And if you got anything cooking on the channel, bro.
Yeah, man. I'm on Facebook, Todd Finney, Instagram, The Legend 3347. I'm thinking about it's not my idea, but a guy wants to cover AJ, you know, AJ and Jake Paul. I ain't really too interested, but I might consider it.
No,
So that's
do
just,
it.
I might do it. Yeah, I might do it. So,
Because
I'll
you
keep
know
you
what's
posted on that.
a Todd. The reason I say do it, bro, is because all of the casuals and the regular fans are gonna be in the same spot.
Facts.
So anything with, like, whether you like them or not, Jake Paul name attached is gonna be some faces. Anthony Joshua name attached is gonna be some faces. If I didn't have to work, I would cover it. So definitely do that. Cover that live, because you're gonna get a lot of subs off of that. And you'll get a lot of interaction off that. So my personal suggestion to you, definitely do that for sure. Vlog, give me your social media and all that. Let them know what you got cooking.
I'm gonna be back blasting on YouTube on the Boxing First Vlog channel beginning of the year. I'm ending this year with a personal goal. I am trying to finish a book. I have a brilliant idea that I've been working on, just mentally writing my notes and things like that. But I'm gonna try to have it written up and see where it goes from there after that. But that's what I'm working on to finish this year. But expect me back on the channel, blasting. You know what I mean? Just going hard and heavy. Just back in the mix in 2026. That's all.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm all over the place, man. YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, X, Kick, Twitch. Everything is G5 Jeff TV. I think I'm gonna do another show. I'm not gonna lie, if another topic comes up, might jump back on here tomorrow. But I'm actually gonna come out with a schedule because of the work situation. I do know my schedule like in advance, but it's just the days are not consistently locked in. So what I'm gonna do is actually post like a 2-week schedule for Throw the Hook podcast. I'll make sure it's on social media, so you'll know dates and times that the show is going to be on. I'll set them as well, so they'll pop up on YouTube. So there's a few things that I'm gonna have to do on the tech side, on the back end, just to make sure you guys know when we're coming on to do Throw the Hook podcast. Once I lock in days at work and things like that, we'll have consistent days that we're on, but we're just going to work around it right now. But all of us is working. Todd Finney, the Legend, working. I'm pretty sure he's going to have more interviews queued up. Boxing First Vlog is going to be back at it, doing things on his channel, and on Throw the Hook podcast. We're going to do everything we can to expand and take things to the next level. That's including interviews, and we got some other things in the works as well. So, for Legend, Legend, we gotta get you to 1,000, bro. We gotta get you to
For sure,
1,000. Sure. Yeah, we gotta get you to 1,000 subs. So that's definitely a goal for Todd Finney vlog. We gotta get you to at least 2 stacks. I think.
Yeah, I'm trying to come back hard and heavy, baby. Just what I mean, get knee deep in these boxing streets, as they say.
Yeah, we gotta get you to at least 2 stacks. And me personally, I gotta get the 10. I've been in that 8 for too long, so I gotta get the 10, and expand going forward, man. So on behalf of Todd Finney, the Legend, you know what I'm saying, in this corner podcast, Boxing First Vlog, definitely subscribe to him, man. And your boy G5 Jeff TV, man. This was Throw the Hook podcast, episode 7, man. This joint was a banger. Check us out on social media. We'll let you know when we'll be back on. All right. Peace.
Peace.